Hey everyone, so very important video here. This video is really about how energy flows. The idea of doing a sexual transmutation practice is to connect to the sexual energy. It's to feel that energy. And I've described in several videos this idea of connecting to the energy is you can do it in a hot way or a cool way. A hot way to connect to that energy is to essentially create your own stimulus, right, men? Or to have sex. That is a hot way to connect to that energy. Now, the cool way to connect to that energy would be as simple as inhale, retain the breath, contract and relax the genitalia until you feel the horny feeling rises. It doesn't have to be intense. Keep that in mind. I think there's a tendency for a lot of people who are pursuing these kinds of paths to look for the most intense thing possible. The reality is that you are going to experience greater intensity if you go into things more subtly, okay? This is a reality because everything is about a contrast. So if you connect to your energy, sexual energy, in a very subtle way, then it starts to become much louder. It becomes a much louder voice. And it becomes something that also you have a connection with in terms of nuance. You understand the nuance of the sexual energy, and that's incredibly important. So connecting to it in a subtle way is important for cultivating nuance. Creating like, oh, it feels like this or it feels like that. I can feel it in this part of my body or feel it in that part of my body, whatever it is. So again, the idea of sexual energy here, just keep in mind that sexual energy is only it's your general life force energy as it is sequestered or contained within the sexual chakra. Meaning, as soon as that energy shifts up to your belly, it's your solar plexus energy. Same energy, different place. That's all. Okay, so other words, most transmutation practices either you're going to get through this program or in any Tantra book for that matter, or Taoist book, is basically going to describe to you this idea that, oh, you're placing your awareness here, or there, or wherever it is, up inside your head or inside your navel point or whatever it is, because they're all taking advantage of a simple principle. Is energy flows to where the attention goes. Okay, I'll repeat that. This is the most important thing this entire program. I'm not kidding. Energy flows to where the attention goes. Meaning, if I connect to my sexual energy, right, I inhale, deep breath, and I connect to it in a cool way, right? So inhale, deep breath, retain the breath, contracting and relaxing the genitals until I feel that horny feeling rises, right? And let's say then I take a deep breath in, take a little more air in rather, and I pull root lock. So you contract the anus, the perineum, the genitals, you pull in the belt line, and then I place my awareness on my right finger only, right? So I'm dividing my awareness between two places, which is the root lock I'm holding, well, actually three places, the retention of the breath, and my mind is also going to my right index finger. So what am I doing? I'm transmuting the energy, I'm shifting the energy to my most intense focal point, which is my right index finger, but it's also, I'm pulling the root lock because what does that do? It creates an upward pressure. So the bandhas, which I prescribe in this program, you have root lock, diaphragm lock, neck lock, tongue at the roof of the mouth, rolling the eyes up. And there's two versions of what they call Mahabandha. Mahabandha means the great lock. It means you're doing all those things at the same time. And there's two versions. One is the version you apply at the moment of orgasm, which I called Maha-Sex Bandha. And then there's the Maha-Yoga Bandha. Maha-Yoga Bandha is more the traditional Mahabandha, where the breath is held out. Now, again, why am I saying this? Why is it important? The importance is part of the equation and understanding how energy flows is to understand that we're creating an internal pressure upward, right? Because the energy will naturally settle back down, right? So this is the flow pattern. So in order to cultivate, and particularly this is particularly important for men, in order to cultivate a powerful inward and upward flow of energy, particularly at the moment of orgasm, what it requires is that we be centered within ourselves. So Mahabandha, the great lock, is one of the most powerful ways of centering your energy. Let me give you a quick example. Let's say you're in the middle of having sex, and in the middle of having sex, You're looking at your partner's breasts. You're super into her beautiful breasts, okay? So you're really, really focused on it. And then let's say then your head goes into some kinky, whatever you're into. I don't know. So whatever your mind goes into, right? So what's happening here? So a couple things is that the energy is going towards her breasts when you're focusing on her breasts. And the other thing that's happening is when you go into kinky fantasy, your mind goes to the kinky fantasy and the energy starts to flow to that, right? Because what does it do? It'll create an intensity within yourself. Let's say that kinky fantasy that really works for you, it intensifies the sexual energy, does it not? Of course it does. And that's why people get addicted to kinky things, because it intensifies the heat. It doesn't necessarily mean better orgasm. It doesn't necessarily mean they're better lovers. It doesn't necessarily mean they can have more sex. It doesn't necessarily mean they can have more profound orgasms or experiences in general, does it? No, it just increases the heat. So let's say you have an orgasm or you ejaculate and your head was in that fantasy. Where does the energy go? Out of the body. It's the same with pornography. If you're looking at pornography, you're rubbing one out. Where does the energy go? Well, it goes to your computer screen, assuming you're looking at a computer. So the idea here is that this internalized pressure, again, let's say I pull root lock, right? So moment of orgasm, I pull root lock. Sniff of air in, touch the tongue or roof of the mouth, roll the eyes up towards my crown. What have I done? I've centered my awareness within myself. This causes the energy to go inward and upward in an implosive way. Men are traditionally explosive, not implosive. And this applies to women as well, although it's slightly different. Women are naturally implosive. So women just don't have to make sure they don't burn themselves out with their orgasms, meaning women are better off having many small orgasms, orgasms in which they're centered and in their body, because they're not going to become drained. Like women can get drained from orgasm as well. So if a woman has overheated orgasms, again, if she's caught up in fantasy, then the energy, same principle applies. Energy flows to where the attention goes. If she's in her head, the energy will go there. So in other words, we deny ourselves an opportunity to experience catharsis, a release of some sort emotionally. And for those of us who are emotionally repressive, this is pretty important to understand that orgasm can actually lead to tremendous emotional release. I cry often, or I laugh hysterically. All sorts of things manifest for me. And you can look at the Profundity of Orgasm video that's part of the program, and I go into more detail about that there. So again, keeping in mind that the bandhas prescribed in this program are really important because they help you redirect, recenter within yourself, right? They recenter within yourself so that at the moment of orgasm, the energy will go inward and upward. And also during your practices, the weeks 1 through 6, those are incredibly important too, because you're learning how to center. You're learning how to connect with the physicality, and you're also learning how that, hey, if I place my awareness on my tailbone and I do something silly like listen to my tailbone, I know it sounds silly. You're going to get to that in week 6. But this idea that I'm listening to my tailbone, notice the effects. It has an effect. And the effect is your energy. Your energy changes. How you feel changes. Everything is about the energy. So keeping in mind that everything in this program is really about you cultivating pathways within yourself, cultivating ways to connect to yourself, cultivating a new connection with your body, cultivating not only connection with the body, but also the energy body, with the sexual energy, and how the sexual energy is connected to your field, connected to the body, connected to your partners, okay? So all this is incredibly important. I think that's all I want to say about the energy flows video here. Again, this is really important. Keep everything I've said in this video in mind and enjoy your practice. Thank you.